next interview will interest you. Are you getting calls, perhaps, from debt collectors asking when you're going to pay that outstanding bill? Is your relationships taking a knock, or perhaps your health is strained because of all the life pressures that you've been going through lately? Then listen up as author and motivational speaker Ntwanano Chavalala unpacks some of the practical solutions to help you cope with whatever you are going through in life and live a life of a champion in a book that he titled Get Up and Run, 12 Qualities of a Champion in Life. Well, he's here with me this morning to tell us more about this offering. A very good morning to you, Ntwanano. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. And I'd like to greet the listeners at home as well.
First of all, please unpack what this book is all about and what inspired you to really put it together.
Actually, this book is about navigating through the storms that people faces in life and ultimately to help them reach their destiny. What actually inspired this book, because I realized there are actually a lot of people who are taking their lives, who are doing terrible things to themselves because they cannot cope with the stress that is happening in their life. So I thought perhaps, and then let me come up with a book that will help them deal with those challenges, because ultimately it is to help people understand that, as we live through this life, we are going to experience challenges. And it is basically unrealistic to expect a life without challenges.
Yeah. Let's go through some of the 12 main qualities that you have written about in this book and why they're so important.
I think the number one quality that I think is very important is vision and having a dream. The importance of actually having a dream is such that, for example, when you are having challenges, and if you have a vision in front of you, it actually motivates you to keep going, no matter the temporary challenges that you are facing. So that's the key point that is very important. And number two quality is actually having faith, that belief that no matter what is happening in my life, ultimately I will be able to overcome. Sometimes it becomes difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel when things are difficult. But when you have that belief that, what is happening at this present moment is but for a moment, ultimately I will conquer. So it keeps you going in life. Those are basically two of the qualities that are in the book, and they will read more in the book about the other qualities. Yes.
I think so many people need to have a look at this book because, I've come across people saying that they've got this great vision, but then they're so downtrodden. They can't even see the light of day. They can't even, do whatever they dreamed of doing because of the circumstances hampering that vision. And there's also some of the helpful tools that may assist some of those who find themselves in that dark little corner.
No, I think the most important thing is to, for example, in life, you have to expect that you are going to experience challenges. So when you expect that, you are actually better prepared to deal with those challenges. For example, currently we are in winter. We expected that winter was going to come, and we actually prepared for it. So we are actually navigating through winter because we know that spring is around the corner. So even our lives are like that. We'll have those seasons where things are difficult, and ultimately change is going to come, no matter how tough things are in your life. So those are the key things that people need to take note.
Okay. And I've noticed that you've constantly keep on mentioning God. Do you want to take us through about that?
Yes, I think it's very important for one to have God in their lives because, when things get tough, it's important to know that I can actually hand it over to God Almighty, who can actually assist a person to deal with whatever they are going through. Because sometimes, believe you me, things can get really, really tough if then you cannot be able to hand over what you are going through to God Almighty, who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above which you expect. And then things can be very, very difficult for you. So it is to understand that, there might be things that I cannot be able to control in life. But if there's God in my life, then I can hand over those things to God, and God can control everything. So that's how important it is, yes.
And I suppose that, in order to achieve all those things that you've mentioned, you also need, a father figure in life, a mother figure in life, or a mentor to help you see through, to help you through some of those challenges that you go through, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very important. I think I, for one, I've had like many mentors in my life. I think when I came here to Johannesburg, I was a person who grew up without basically both of their parents because my parents actually divorced. So I didn't have that father figure in my life, but there were people here in Johannesburg that actually took me under their wings. For example, people like Pastor Gift, people like Pastor Joe as well, who actually assisted me through the journey of rearing me as a young person to become the person that I am today. And one person that actually played a critical role, I would say, is my granddad, because my granddad was able to model like a family setup in my life since I did not have my father growing like around me. And my uncle as well, he played a very critical role. I think my uncle was one of the people in the community who was the first person to be on radio. So that was actually an inspiration for me growing up to be the person that I am today. So it's very critical to have someone that you can say, you know what, this is the person that I can look up to. Yeah.
You know, Ntwanano, in my intro, I mentioned indebtedness. Say, for instance, I've just lost my job, my house has been repossessed, my car has been repossessed, my wife or my spouse is not working, and I just found myself so downtrodden. So how do I get up and run, as you mentioned in this book? Where do I find the strength and the energy to do that?
I think the most important thing is to first keep calm. That's the first thing that you need to do. And then when you are calm, you will be able to think properly to come up with solution around your situation. Because I've realized one thing, that if you are to panic like around that situation, then you are going to make a lot of mistakes. So that's the number one key thing, to actually keep calm. And then from then you will be able to master some strength to be able to get up and move forward, and to understand that if, for example, you accumulated those things in the first place and then you have lost them, chances are obviously you have that ability to be able to regain those things that you have lost. So there's no need to go to an extreme and say that it is over with your life. You just need to make sure that, you know what, I've done it before to be where I am. Surely, and then where I am, I can be able to get up and run again.
Right.
Yes.
Ntwanano, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for
This is such a great
having me.
read. We
Yes.
appreciate it, eh?
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for having me.
Well, you've heard it from the horse's mouth. Do not panic. And that was author and motivational speaker Ntwanano Chavalala. He was speaking to us about his inspirational book titled Get Up and Run, 12 Qualities of a Champion in Life. Well, if you belong to a book club or you're a lone reader, you can also join us for a Sunday morning book feature to talk about some of the books that you're currently reading or have read. Just send us a detailed description of the book, of your book club on email, or you can also send us a picture of the books with a brief description or a caption using our social media platforms. You can use our Twitter handle at @MorningLiveSABC or #MorningLiveSABC. You can also tag or send us a Facebook message via our page, MorningLiveSABC, and our email address is morninglive@sabc.co.za. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.